This is the story of Daniel Okoye, a boy everyone once called the future professor. He was the kind of student teachers used as an example: sharp mind, neat handwriting. The boy parents wished their children sat beside, but life has a way of reminding even the brightest stars that talent alone is never enough. After finishing secondary school in eastern Nigeria, Daniel registered for the university entrance exam jam full of confidence. Everyone expected him to pass with flying colors. On the day results came out, he checked the portal and froze. He had failed. Not just by a little, he scored far below the cutoff. His family was shocked. His mother cried. His father, a strict man, didn't say a word for days. Neighbors whispered that maybe Daniel had joined bad friends. Some even said he used to cheat in school and his true level had finally shown, but Daniel kept quiet. He believed it was just a bad year. He registered again the following year, studied even harder, slept less, avoided parties, and cut off all distractions. This time, he told himself he would bounce back. But when results came out, it was worse than the first time. That failure didn't just sting, it destroyed him. People mocked him openly. His father stopped introducing him as his brilliant son. His younger siblings suddenly became the ones the family believed in. And then came the biggest humiliation. At church one Sunday, a woman giving testimony said her daughter scored high in the exam, then added loudly, "Some people pretend to be geniuses, but God has exposed them." She looked directly at Daniel. Everyone did too. Daniel felt his chest burning. That day, he went home and locked himself in his room. And for the first time in his life, he cried. But here's where the story takes its first twist. A few days later, Daniel discovered something strange. Someone had logged into his exam account twice before results were released. He didn't understand how that happened. He suspected foul play, but he had no proof. So he stayed silent. He decided to do something different. He disappeared from social life. No WhatsApp, no outings, no hanging out with neighborhood friends. People said he was depressed. Others thought he had given up, but secretly, Daniel was building something dangerous. Focus. For one full year, he studied like a man possessed. He created his own timetable, watched free lectures online, solved hundreds of past questions, and even taught younger students to reinforce his knowledge. Then something unexpected happened. Another twist. While teaching a student named Nora, he discovered she was the niece of a powerful exam official who handled the region's results. Nora accidentally revealed that some students paid to boost their scores every year. Shocked, Daniel realized the truth. The students who beat him those first 2 years weren't necessarily better. They had simply paid their way in. Worse still, one of the top performing students was the bishop's daughter, the same woman whose mother mocked Daniel in church. Daniel felt anger rising inside him, but he said nothing. Instead, he told himself, "I will beat them without bribing anyone. I will make them feel what real brilliance looks like." On the morning of his third attempt, Daniel walked into the exam hall with a calmness no one expected. When he saw the questions, he smiled, not because they were easy, but because he had seen harder ones in his practice. He finished early, handed in his paper, walked out feeling something he hadn't felt in years: peace. 2 weeks later, the results were released. The internet shook. Daniel had not just passed, he was the highest scorer in the entire region, breaking a record that had stood for 7 years. Neighbors who once mocked him suddenly congratulated him. The church that humiliated him called him on stage for a special Thanksgiving. The bishop's daughter who once bragged about her sponsored scores suddenly became very quiet when people started comparing numbers. But the biggest twist came afterward. Nora, the exam official's niece, confessed to Daniel that the system tried to manipulate his score again, lowering it before release. However, her uncle refused because after reviewing Daniel's answers, he said lowering his score would be a crime against God and education. He personally ensured the results stayed untouched, and with that, Daniel's victory became unstoppable. He gained admission into the university of his choice, earned a scholarship, and eventually became a celebrated academic researcher. The same people who once doubted him now invited him to speak to their children. But Daniel always ended his speeches with one line: "Failure is only final if you stop trying." His story became a reminder across Africa that no matter how many times life beats you down, or how many people plot against you, your comeback can silence every voice that ever doubted you.